Morning, champs. Winter's coming. Or is it? Let's have a look. In our TradeFi markets, we can see Dixie in its absolute rampage still continuing to the upside. I have drawn out these SR lines over here for you to have a look at. And what we've seen here is that we've wicked down, but this SR has held. And currently, it does seem like the midline and SR is holding a support for our Dixie to continue up. In our SPX, obviously, we see the reverse. Now, this is also very interesting. I have drawn out these SR lines all the way back. I'm actually going to just show you exactly where I've taken these SR lines from, all the way back, probably in the way, all the way back in May, okay, of 2022, all the way through, all being respected over here, as you can see, and all the way through. So the point is, when you have these SR lines that have such decent respect for such a long period of time, you really need to start taking notice. We still have respect over here as report. Now it's been flipped to resistance. So this is quite bearish, to be very honest. We've got this bearish market structure. We've got perfect SR respect. And we've got this this historical SR zone that I've drawn out now acting as resistance. And if it does get lost, then really we do have quite a big drop to be expected in the SPX. So is winter coming? Let's just continue watching exactly what's going to be happening in this market so that we can prepare for what happens in the crypto markets. Right. Talking about crypto, our mothership, Bitcoin. What have we got here? In terms of winter and crypto winter, obviously we've been through crypto winter, but where are we now? Are we actually starting to get into a spring? Essentially, this is what I will use as the deciding factor. This point of control has constantly acted as resistance until such time as we smash up above the point of control, have a daily close above the point of control, come back and back test it as support and continue up, then I would say we're off to the races. Okay, at least up until this zone over here. And what is that zone? You can see it's around the 30K mark. So that's obviously a big psychological level. It's above our value area high. And as I've said many times in the past, we can expect this rotation of this range and then just to essentially come up above this range. Potentially, we've got two order blocks here to have a look to see if we do get some reaction, or potentially up into this order block and get some reaction. Alternately, what will happen, of course, is that we have some major event and we smash past and create new local highs. So that's essentially on the daily time frame. What I want to have a look at now is our 4-hour. So this is really interesting. It seems to me like we have market makers playing their little dirty games once again. As you can see, we've got these continuing higher lows here, which seems to be a manufactured push up by the market makers. You can see open interest is slowly starting to increase over the days and weeks. And I would not be surprised at some stage to have this major sell-off smash down, clearing out the liquidity before the next push up. So just be aware of that. Right, I do want you to still keep aware of aware of these SR lines here, which have been so perfect. Okay, so if you remember yesterday, I said we were around this region. I said what we would like to see is a little push up to clear out the liquidity pool over here before a further move down to clear out the liquidity pool in and around this zone before another move up. Right, so you can also see I have drawn out this medium term, medium time frame channel over here to be aware of. It's had some very, very decent respect. And as you can see, midline. So let's see if we come down to around this zone over here, have a bounce up before going up. Okay, where do I get that? This zone over here from? Well, I showed you yesterday in the liquidation heat map. So you can see the 27K zone over here. Market makers would probably like to come down to at least the 27K zone before going up. And that translated into this chart is, like I say, in this zone over here. So essentially perfect TA all coming together. As you know, we've had this anchored VWAP also playing a role in the past. So maybe something like that. Right. Let's continue to just track our perpetual and our spot CVD. So yesterday I said that the spot CVD, I think it was actually the perpetual CVD, which is down here, seems pretty flat and lackluster. Don't forget, our spot CVD is like a general market sentiment indicator. The perpetual CVD is almost like a speculative indicator to see essentially what the bigger gamblers are trying to do and what their sentiment is. Very flat, very flat. So, like I said, there was this sort of 50-50, and I did expect a small push up for a nicer move down and then a much nicer move up. That is playing out so far. And as you can see, let's have a look at this liquidation heat map. We had quite a bit of liquidity building up in this area. Yesterday, this wasn't quite, I think we were around here. And yesterday, it wasn't quite as heavy yellow color. And you can see this is around, uh, let's just get it, it was up at around 95 million. Yesterday, there was a very, very um, dark or much darker yellow up around here, this area, which is around 130 million, if I remember correctly. Since then, it shifted down. We spiked up into it, and you can see us selling off as was expected. Now, on the reverse side here, we have sort of equal liquidity as we saw on the upside. So that's 91 million. That's a really, really nice amount of liquidity for the market makers to target next. So everything playing out as expected. So what does that mean for our day trades? This is a 30-minute chart. Just to give you a bit of orientation, we have this range over here. As you can see, we have had the rise to the upside of it, and we are now currently expecting a rotation down to the bottom. We have a value area setup. So I've marked yesterday's value area high, PDVAH is previous day value area high, and PDVAL, previous day's value area low over here. Now, what is the value area setup? This is the start of the day over here, which you can see opened above the previous day's value area high. So if you've got an open above the previous day value area high, and you have two consecutive 30-minute candle closes below this value area high, there's an 80% likelihood of a rotation down to at least the PDVAL, previous day value area low. So everything is essentially playing out as expected. So there's an 80% chance statistically that what I said yesterday, i.e., we have our little push up, and statistically now we're going to have our push down to at least this area over here. And don't forget, we're targeting actually this zone over here, the 20, just 27 to just under 27K. We've got an 80% chance of at least reaching down to here. What does that mean? It means that we'll have broken out of our little channel over here. Perhaps we'll back test it. If we, for example, get below this daily naked points of control and buying imbalance, and we have a little smash below, sort of back test this channel over here, then you know there's pretty serious weakness, and we will continue down. Next, we will have to get through this point of control, local point of control, and then it to me really very much seems like we can, here's our range, we can expect this rotation down below. That will get us very close to our target. So essentially what we're just going to do is we're going to monitor today. We're going to monitor. If you're not in if you're not in a position already, if you're not in a short, what you'd like to do is have a look at order flow. If you do not have any order flow software, it's a little bit difficult to get a decent position because you don't want to have something looking like this. Well, actually, let's have a look. Let's have a look to see if you're getting a 2. Yeah, you might want to enter somewhere around here. If you see a local, um, let's say, for example, on the 5 minute, you start seeing something like this, then you could start getting in. Put your stop above the highs over here and target your 27K area. That's if you don't have any order flow software. If you do have order flow software and you know how to use it, then of course you could look at some better entries. Right. Um, Something I've just spotted over here, you also have something of a channel over here. So really, this could have been your entry for your short if you're not yet in the short to take it all the way down. Right. Okie dokie. And I think with that, we are going to give you the final update of where we're at with our challenge. We do have a really decent bunch of people together and all rearing to go. So we really are looking for another 4 people. Please do me a favor, come and join. If you don't want to make money, then please just stop the video right here. If you want to 10x your account, go over to my Twitter account, follow, and um, hit the tweet that I will highlight in the description. What you need to do is go and tell me that you do want to join us, and I'll give you further instructions from there. Other than that, may the odds ever be in your favor. Have a fantastic trading day, and see you later.